Some places you visit, you know they're fragile, or they're dangerous. They're volcanoes, they're earthquakes, hurricanes, fire, flood. But one place I never felt that way about was Western North Carolina. It was timeless and safe and far from all of those disasters. At least that's what we thought when we spent an idyllic weekend off Beach Tree Road just a couple of months before Hurricane Helene. It'd been a rainy summer and everything was wet, but nobody was worried about floods yet. This is the weather.
It's just beginning, so.
Yeah. Continue for 1 mile. Okay, so
We're a little full.
we are a little full because I was going to go get the camper by myself today, which would have meant there was room for all of this in the passenger seat. But that's not what we did. So yeah, we're not late for anything really except my plan.
Yeah.
Did they care?
I don't think they do.
Okay. So we did say 2, but here it is.
It's gonna be
Almost 4.
I just told it before 45.
Okay. So yeah, I was gonna pick it up at 2. That was optimistic. Yeah. We are off tonight. We're going up to Asheville, and the whole weekend is actually the weekend is Asheville this weekend for a concert tomorrow night with a friend of ours, and then Florence, Alabama for the WC Candy Festival, and then Nashville for a wedding. Every summer we go to Nashville for a wedding, but I don't think we'll do it again next summer. I think this is 3 summers in a row. As soon as I move the camera over, a trailer went by. Stopped raining.
Yeah. Let's hope that holds out for the pickup. Yeah, that's actually a very good piece of
Okay, so we think something is hooked up wrong because, or loose or something, because we're on a concrete road, so it's always a little rough, but this is really rough.
Yeah.
And other expansion joints.
Yeah.
I thought it was the exhaust that was hitting me, making me hot, but it's the sun. That sun is hot.
Okay.
So we are at, it's called a scenic overlook, but really this way it's just trees, which is nice, but there's also picnic tables. And like, if I were living my life all over again, I would keep a record of all the picnic tables near me, because I think it'd be kind of fun if you were the kind of person that just always had a picnic and you knew, oh, up here there's a picnic area, because maybe somebody's done this, probably on the internet. Oh, it does look like it's bumping. Look at that.
Not as much as I thought, though, actually, but yeah, but that's loose, and then there's a screw that kind of. I want to screw that screw in.
See, that has a more formal name of thing as opposed to the thingies.
Yeah, this is the bit that I think is. I know it's loose, actually. I feel it.
Okay, so if I'm ever by myself and I'm having a really rough go like that,
Yeah, let's see.
I could do what you're doing right now, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get that on there. I'll just check these while I'm at it, but these usually you need 2 to really tighten down. You need 2 because
You gotta hold the
side
other
will
one.
spin. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit of wobble's okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is this adapter I think is also
Oh yeah.
contributing to the wobble.
Yeah.
But I know that.
But that.
So let's see how that does.
Yeah. Okay. When we first got the little guy Max.
Yeah, when we first got the Little Guy Max, the person that set it up, of course, we didn't know anything about it, and that little screw that I just tightened was completely loose, and we drove it that way for months, and one point, I guess I got the manual out or something, and I was like, well, listen, it's just too floppy and it doesn't make sense. And that was the problem.
Well, we were hopeful. It's still pretty rough. Look at the coffee splash. Okay, that's good. All right, we got here. It's very dark, but we are here.
Level it out.
I'm gonna walk the dogs. Our HipCamp is right beside this pretty old church. Dogs want me to keep moving. So it's about, what, 11:30? And our slide is unhappy. It's not going out. When we picked it up today, there was water coming in. We stored it inside, but of course I had to leave it outside for us to pick up. And it was raining quite heavily. And there was water.
Oh boy, I can see what is going on.
Oh, that is not good. Do it again, ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay, so it is, what time is it? What time is it?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. But look at that, Randy has watched YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
Well, I still don't know what the problem was, but what fixed it is this override mode on the controller.
That
Very
doesn't
confusing.
sound good.
Because the controller is giving a code that says there's a short, but when you override it, everything works. So could there really be a short? And there's the same. You can see the same confusion in the forums. No conclusion there. So I think it's
Because water did get into that slide. I know you and I don't
Yeah.
see that together, but I did see water coming in around the slide. Well, anyway, woohoo!
Yeah, so now, do I just leave it in override mode? Is it a one-time thing? I don't know.
Okay, but for now, at least. Oh,
You go
thank
in
God.
there, there's a little gray button. You push it 6 times and then hold it down the 7th time until things start blinking. This is the controller for the slide. And then it goes into override mode and then it decides to work.
Okay, so I am had a glass or perhaps 2 of wine, and now I am in bed with all the dogs. We put Hank in here because he's an old man. We were camping off Bee Tree Road near Black Mountain. It was really one of the most charming, comfortable hip camps we'd ever stayed at. All that rain we've been having meant everything was so lush and green. It was the height of summer. And while Randy worked that day, the dogs and I just walked around and explored a little bit. And although we did see some Canada geese at a nearby dog park, Randy's the one who saw interesting wildlife.
There is a little bear trying to get into the bear-proof trash can. Looks like it worked.
We'd added this stop in Asheville to an existing trip to meet friends at Brewing Company and to hear a group from the Sahara called Tinariwen. They've been around a long time. They've got cool, funky music. It's fun to listen to. And it was something really kind of neat about listening to music from the desert in an Asheville rainstorm. We had our umbrellas and we weren't going to melt anyway. The Asheville crowd was so Asheville. Just kind of a mix of, you know, hippies, people with a lot of good Gore-Tex and outdoor gear. And then it was back to our very peaceful spot on our little pond. So we have spent a couple of nights here, in the Asheville area at this beautiful HipCamp. And this is sort of the ideal when you think of a HipCamp. There are power hookups, there's a picnic table and a fire ring, and you feel very private. Everything is very quiet here. There is a road not far, so it's not hard to get to, but then you're just in this beautiful setting with a pond, and it's just you. Really good Wi-Fi here too, by the way. But it made me think about all the different kinds of camping you can do that I didn't know about until we started doing more RVing. I think I did know about HipCamp from tent camping. But the pros of HipCamp to me, and a HipCamp is one of my favorite ways to camp, is you can find interesting places, usually close to major destinations. The one downside that I may not have thought of until I don't think I did think of, is a lot of times it's a little tricky to figure out where to really walk the dogs. I feel like usually at HipCamps, unless it's one with a lot of land, because some are great and we can just let the dogs run around, but it's also not uncommon to be in one where to really find a place to walk a dog, you have to go somewhere, which is fine, but compared to like a state park or some kind of recreation area where there are trails, you can go out and walk your dogs. And I was thinking about it this morning because I had to walk Maggie and Pepper on the road, which is not really busy, but it is not really well suited to walking along the roadside. And all the little side roads are private, so you can't go down any of these little country lanes. They all say no trespassing. So that's a little frustrating. Again, we had to drive somewhere to walk the dogs, which it's a small price to pay, but it's something I hadn't thought of. But other than that, I just love this place. It's so pretty. And tonight we go to another HipCamp. That one is on 1,000 acres, and if we're the only ones there, they allow you to have the dogs run around. So I'm hoping we're the only ones there. Fingers crossed. Our drive west on I-40 was completely uneventful. But I would never have believed if you told me that day that in 2 months, this highway would be washed away. Western North Carolina seems so permanent, so peaceful. Those mountains are so ancient. And I'd never thought that what happened there was possible. I've been going to Western North Carolina my entire life, but what I went through is, of course, nothing like the people who lived there. And yet, being from Florida and then living in Georgia and visiting this area so often, I still really can't believe the place that we always went to for peace, for tranquility, went through what it went through. That little church that we camped next to was pretty much destroyed. But the amazing thing is that the congregation wasn't. One person was killed, but they're still there. They still meet. The HipCamp's still there, still gets good reviews. The people of Western North Carolina are resilient. Burial Brewing Company did fine and actually offered support to the other local brewers. This is such a gorgeous area, and we've been up nearby since then. It's recovering, and it's still so worth visiting. But seeing it go through what they went through, it just reminds you that you never know. There's no guarantees in life. And it made me so happy we'd been so many times. And it made me glad we just get out there and see it while we can.